So far you have learned how to use some of the built-in functions such as print or input. In this video, you will learn how to create your own functions in Python. So you might be wondering, why should I create my own functions in Python? Real-world programs contain thousands and sometimes millions lines of code. And it's not a good idea to put all that code in one single place. So programmers divide the code into small manageable components called modules, which is the main idea behind modular programming. Modular programming improves the maintainability of your code, because if a program doesn't work, then it can be debugged one small part at a time. Also, modular programming allows you to achieve better collaboration. So several programmers can work on the same project where each have a different module to handle. In Python, you can implement modular programs by writing functions. So let us see how to write functions in Python. To create functions in Python, you need to define the functions. And you can do that by first typing the def keyword. Next, you need to type the function name. So let's give this function the name greet user. So that's greet with an underscore user. And then you need to open and close a parenthesis. And in between these parentheses, you give what we call the function parameters. And the function parameters are input to the function. But this specific function will not take any parameters, so we're not going to be passing any input to this function. So we'll keep the parameter list empty for the time being. And after that, you need to give the colon. Next, when you hit enter, you can see that the editor indents the code by 4 spaces. So basically anything you type in here will belong to this function. It's a good idea that you start by describing what the function do. And you do that using a docstring. And a docstring is nothing but a triple quoted string. So let me write a small triple quoted string here, which describes what this function does. So this function basically display a greeting to the user. And then you can type the statements which makes the body of this function. So basically what you want this function to do. And this simple function would basically print a greeting message to the user. So the function would basically say hello. And once you finish typing all the statements in the function, you can just put back the cursor in its initial position. Now let us run this code and see what is the output that will be displayed by this program. And when you run the program, you can see that there is actually no output. And the reason is because we didn't use this function in our code. We just defined the function. And in order to use the function, we need to actually call it. So to call a function, you simply type the name of the function, and if there are any parameters, you pass it parameters or you pass it arguments, but we don't have any parameters to pass to this function, so you simply open and close a parenthesis. Now this line in here is basically a function call. Now when I run this program, because I am calling this function, it will go and it will display the word hello. And you can call this function as many times as you want. So if I call the function for the second time, and if I run the program, it will print hello twice. So this is your first function, your first custom defined function in Python, which simply display a simple greeting to the user.